Let's talk about children's tablets. And the biggest issue with these tablets right now have to be the screens. The screens are just boring. Kids won't stay on these screens for numerous reasons. And I think it's pretty obvious when you have a tablet like this, the screens, when you turn it on, it's exciting. You can barely see the screen. And kids these days, with all the screens that are out these days, are just not going to stay on and play. They're just not. Like, the iPad has a great screen. The Amazon Kindles have great screens. Everything has a great screen except these VTech and Leapfrog tablets, despite these being very good learning toys that actually keep kids focused. And I do think they keep kids focused, but the problem with this is, unlike these traditional toys in this, they're almost too traditional. And I'm going to tell you why. Like, nobody can see these screens. My kids will not watch these tablets. Maybe that's a personal issue. I'm not really sure. But they'll only get on the Amazon or the Amazon Kids tablets or anything like that that's shiny, has apps, and does all that other stuff. Trying to get them away from that. But I do think this can be fixed. And I think that VTech, Leapfrog should definitely update their screens. And I think parents would pay a little bit more money if these screens were actually really nice. I know these companies are trying to save money and for obvious reasons, but the fact of the matter is, I think they could put like a 2010 screen in there that's in 720p or even 480p and just have it look a little bit nicer than what they're currently doing right now. These calculator screens, as we like to call them, are just not really working. Now, they've tried things like you can change the colors on this and do stuff like that. So that's kind of cool, and you can kind of see what they do. And this is one of the better ones, actually. But one of the issues with these tablets is they're just not exciting to kids. They get bored. And when kids have all this modern technology, unless you live out in the middle of nowhere and don't let your kids use any smart tablets, which good luck with that. If you can do that, props to you. Maybe. I don't know. That depends on parenting philosophies there. But I think the main thing is these tablets, which are closed systems, they don't connect to the internet, would be way better if they had nice screens. And if they could just they wouldn't cost much more to put a color screen in there and do some other things. I mean, Game Boy Color came out in the early 2000s, and that screen wasn't good, and at least it was in color. These screens are not even in color. So we're talking early 1980s tech here that they haven't updated in years, and they're still using the same calculator screens, I guess you would call them, and they need to get those updated. And I think it's a really big deal that could actually cause kids to stay longer on these tablets and actually learn their letters, their numbers, their anything like that, their ABCs, or even want to actually play the piano, which I actually wouldn't mind making a video where I just play the piano. But this is just stuff that you can do. Now, obviously, it's not going to have like these traditional toys that have other things that keep kids entertained, but this is for education. Like, this isn't going to educate a kid outside of they know a garbage truck. This isn't going to educate someone because it's a dinosaur, and well, it's pretty cool actually. But what's going to educate a kid are these closed systems. But quite frankly, we're dealing with 1980s tech that hasn't been improved. There are no tablets coming out that really do this, and the iPad's not working because they just get on YouTube or some other video app. So there needs to be something that closes this down. And most of the stuff that is labeled kids is just not good content these days for kids in general. And I don't understand why companies don't understand this. So definitely, I would say maybe write Leapfrog or VTech and just let them know, hey, let's get some better screens on these things, and let's get started with that, because we're in 1980s. Maybe we can go to the 2000s and get a 2000 screen on there or something. I mean, just throw an old laptop screen on there. Who knows? But there you go, guys. That's what needs to be updated on VTech and Leapfrog tablets. That'd be a game changer for kids. See you on the flip side. Hit that like button, guys. It's the only way to really get this video anywhere. So, yeah, please. Tons of other toy videos on the channel. Watch them.